So I received a You-Me 3, and it came in this packaging. Has this little thing here, a drugstore label. Looks like a yearbook, vintage yearbook. There's more than 3. I think some of these were extras, but I opened them and didn't even pay attention. So I'm just pulling them all out and looking. I think, and then this one is, my dog burps, sorry. This is a flashcard and a little player sheet, and that's just a little note. So anyways, I'm going to kind of look at this and see what I can't come up with. One of the first things I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut this seal off of this bag here, because then I could use it. It's like, okay, so it's not straight, so I'm going to kind of eyeball it and try to get it straight. There, so I have that in case I wanted to use it for something. Then I have that, and since I can't remember what came in the thing, I'm thinking it's these 3 are the 3 that I would like to work with, I think. So, I'm so sorry guys if this is part of the pieces. I don't know. I just kind of undid the package and wasn't even paying attention. So, I'm going to put these to the side, and I'm probably going to work with these 3 pieces. And maybe even do something with this little thing that came in it. Okay, so since this flashcard says work, I'm going to do, I hand carved this a while ago, a bee, and so I thought I'd stamp this with the bee stamp. My dog's kind of whining, sorry. Let me move that up so you can see that. Okay. So like I'm not a stamper, obviously. But I've always learned that you take the stamp, you roll it around on the stamp pad, get it all saturated and tap it. I don't know. I'm trying guys, here we go. But I do love my hand carved stamps. I'd like to use them more, so I'm kind of grateful for this. I'm gonna put his, there we go. And just kind of we're getting ready to go on vacation, and my poor dog, he's just sad. So he sits there and whines, and because the luggage has been out for like 2 weeks, and it's just made him miserable. We tried to shut the door, but we keep opening it and forgetting it, and it has our luggage in there, and he is just not happy. I hate leaving our animal. I hate when you have to leave an animal because they are just so sad, and I'm sad leaving them too, but golly. So mopey. Okay, so there, so I like that, and maybe I will stamp a little bit on this bag. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it. Maybe I'll leave it. All right, I'll put this away. Do here is I'm going to put some gloves on, and yes, these are ones that I've had, and they're kind of grungy, but I hate throwing them out. It's not that I'm cheap, because my husband could attest to that. It's just I hate throwing stuff out. Like when you can reuse it a million times. I hate trash. Hate it. It just seems like there's too much trash in the world. So if I can reuse these a zillion times, as you can see, I will. And they do leave all this gunk there, but that's okay. We're going to ignore it. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to spray. I'm actually going to use even the note that they sent with the packaging, because why not? And then I'm going to take some coffee and then some raspberry infusion and the, don't dump those, the sage and the navy. And so what I do is I just kind of, I get the paper wet and I throw some of this down, and then I get it wet again like that. And then I'm going to throw some coffee down because I think coffee is nice in this. This is just the espresso coffee. Any coffee will work like that. I actually need to buy more. And then I'm going to take some of the green and kind of work this in. And then flip it around, kind of work that a little bit. I like to do both sides because you never know which side I'm going to use. Just saying. So you just kind of have to have everything covered. All your bases covered. And I don't really care what they printed this on. I still use it even if it bleeds a little bit. I actually kind of like that sometimes. So I am just going to do that. Okay. Get it a little more wet. Now, I don't let this soak in here, so that's one thing that to note is whenever you do this, don't let this soak. So kind of whenever it's really wet, kind of get it through and then move on. So I'm kind of wanting to add, these are highly pigmented, as you can see. I love them though. I love them. Like, and they will activate with water, so if you use watercolor or something on top of these, it's not going to be pretty, but I don't care. So I think everything works to my advantage, actually. So I'm going to take this, and what I do is I put it onto a paper towel and I kind of dauber it off a little bit, get some of that moisture out of it. I use these bamboo paper towels, and they work so good for absorption, and then I can just keep going. Like, they absorb really well. So there we go. There's one. Now I'll do this other one. Get this. And where the words are that I'm kind of wanting, I kind of try to get the stuff off, rub it off a little bit. It'll dry and the wording will show up, but just kind of make sure you get as much as you can off of that, because that's where my inspiration came from. And then why waste a good piece of paper, guys? Let's use it too, right? Some people think I'm crazy, probably, or like she's completely nuts, but this will turn into the best piece of paper. I love copier paper for this. I probably should have kept that information. That's the kind of thing that I do. I'll have to reach out to them and say, hey, what were those? What was the information again? Because silly me forgot to do that. Oh well, they're nice girls. They'll be okay with it. Okay, so now I'm gonna let oh, I can still read it, you guys. I can still read it. Okay, so I'm gonna let this dry, and then we'll come back. Okay, I think I am going to break open the packaging and lay it out because it's craft paper, and I like craft paper. So I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to use it in a couple different ways. So let's get it open the best we can. I really like using every piece of the mail that comes sometimes. I just think it's a nice challenge. I have a stash over here where I just kind of like working that way. So anyway, so now we have this whole piece here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down into smaller pieces. So I'm going to cut this here. And I'm going to cut this here. So now we have this big piece, and then these, I think what I'm going to do is just kind of fold them to where they can make little tip outs, maybe like that. let's do this one in the same way. So I'm just going to make a bunch of stuff from everything that came in this mail. It's kind of a fun way for me to build up my stash and also not throw anything away, right? We could even like, how would we do that? I'm not an accordion girl, but look, we could do a little accordion journal like that inside of a journal if we wanted to. Anyways, or we could just use these to doodle little botanicals on or whatever. Okay, so then I'm going to take this and I'm going to use this guy as a little tool to mark on this paper to make it a nice little background. And I'm just using Amsterdam Black. So I'm going to grab this and I'm just going to kind of do that and then just make some marks with it. So I've used it. If this is one of the tools that they intended for this project, I used it. I can check it off. Yeah. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, my marks are a little primitive, but that's okay. We're gonna call it a win for this project. I'm trying to be careful not to make a mess. I'm not very good at that. Like, before I know it, I have a full blown monster mess. So I only used a little bit of black. I don't want to use a whole bunch. So then I'm gonna kind of clear that off there. I don't know, just clean off all the paint so you're not wasting any. Make it look a little worn and tired. There you go. All right, so let that dry. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to use a glue stick. Wow, that's interesting. It's a mess underneath there. Well, wow. Okay, and I'm going to glue this down on this label. I just cut some of those pictures out and I'm just going to use these two here. I'm going to make a few different pieces and we'll see what happens. So then I'm going to also attach it here. So I'm going to cut this, or should I tear it? Maybe I should tear it. Let's tear it. I think it's more interesting if it's torn, and then it doesn't have to be perfect. Well, I don't think it has to be perfect if it's torn. And I know this is a sticker, but I don't want to use it like a sticker. I want to stick it to this. Like that. So I'll put that to the side and see what I want to do with it next. And then I had this piece, and I want to put the flashcard on there, and so I'm going to glue it. I like using just a little bit of glue, especially because I'm going to stitch this, and so I like it to have a light coating of glue because it just makes it easier for me. Anyway. And then I'm going to put this over here. There was only one girl in this strip, so I won't cut her. I cut this out so that I could have that girl there. And then I'm going to use a white Posca pin, and I'm just going to kind of circle this word work. And I'm going to circle her. And probably just kind of make it a little scribbly, because that's what I like to do. But work. I want it to be a little bold there. And then maybe I'll write it over here so that it stands out. Look at the guy's face. Okay, wow, that's hilarious. Okay, What about this piece, you guys? Let's see. I wonder if we could do something with it and make it work. Let's see. And maybe loop it around and throw a stitch on it. Oh, you guys, I think it might work. Yep, I think it might work. I'm gonna throw a little bit of glue there to kind of bookmark where I'm wanting it, and we'll go from there. I just want to cover up that bottle company thing there, and I'll set that there. And let's see how I want to make that work. Right there. Kind of arrange these a little better. Okay, I'm going to throw some stitches in these guys, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have all these little pieces of things I have going on here, and I think what I'm going to do, okay, like I know, I'm just going to, I love things with that edge at the top, so I'm going to put this maybe right here and tear off the end. Go like that. Oops. Take the lid off. Oh, yeah, my brain. Okay, so I'm gonna put some glue down on this, just because it's what I have out. Not because of any specific reason. I'm trying to decide if I want to do something there. I'll think about it. Let me see what happens here. I really tore him up. Oops. I didn't really mean to. Just kind of happened. I should have made it already. I don't know if you guys can see that real clear. Do you see him? Like, he's kind of hilarious. I guess it's good I left him. He's so serious. All right. I love a good wax seal, guys. Love them. Love them, love them, love them, love them. Okay, I'm going to do this right here. Oops. I might stitch this into the journal and I might not, but I'll use glue for right now until I decide. And then if it doesn't hold good, I'll stitch it. I'll just stitch it. All right, it should hold pretty good though. I want to leave that edge there, and I love good wax seal. Okay, so we're gonna let that glue down, and then this already. Let's get a black Posca pin and add some marks to this, because the craft in the craft drives me crazy. I don't normally do that. But I wasn't paying attention when I grabbed a journal. I just grabbed a journal, opened it up, and didn't think too much. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes that's not real great. So I'm just going to add some darker marks to this. I'm not really caring too much. I'm just kind of wanting to add a little more contrast, especially since craft and craft. I don't like craft and craft. Normally anyways. We need to make sure we bring out the work here. I'm gonna maybe bring out the work on this. There we go. Work. I think she's cute though. If he was happier, maybe I would think he was cute. I don't know what one has to do with the other over here, but I'm gonna see. Let's see. You know what? I did this. I just want to use it because I did it. Do you ever just do that? Like you can't really find a spot for it, but because you did it, you just want to use it. Oh, I'm losing it, you guys. I'm losing it. I don't know that one has to do with the other. So you know what? We're not. We're just not. Let's see. You know what? Maybe with this whole theme here. And then I could doodle something on here maybe. I have no idea what I'm doing. And my stomach's growling, and I'm not hungry. I can't be hungry, so I don't know why it's growling. Maybe I'll put that here because it kind of ties in there. So, and then I'll figure out what I'm going to do next after I do that. I might need to pause for a second. So I'll lay this down, and I will pause for a moment. All right. Maybe clip that a little better would help. There we go. We'll let this dry and come back. I'm not saying I'm going to use this, but let's draw a botanical on this little fold out thing that I'm doing here. And I'll see if I like it. If I don't, then I won't use it. I will recycle it into something else. So I'm just going to draw a little sloppy botanical here. Nothing special. Just droopy leaves. Some are big, some are little. Alaska style. Never consistent. Nature isn't consistent though. If you look at nature, it is beautiful because it's irregular and not consistent. So I love that because I'm not consistent. All right, maybe this one needs a little leaf that goes like this. It goes behind the stem there. We're just doing sloppy botanicals, so not really worrying too much about it. And then this one. I don't know why I did that, but I just felt the need to, so I did. Okay, now we'll do this one. Always at the base of the stem, I like to add a little extra tension, adds a little interest, makes me happy, whatever. It does the trick. Okay, and then here. This Posca pin's kind of on its last leg. Sorry, but I don't want to get a new one. I like to use them until I can't use them no more. Just adding heaviness to the stem line here. There we go. And then come up here, do it here. There we go. Okay, so there's a botanical, and I think if we, how am I doing that? Because if I did it like, if it was a tip out like this, there we go. So now I need a botanical there. And I kind of like to mimic whatever I've done over there. I'm going to grab, you know what, I'm just going to stay consistent and use one Posca. So I'm just going to kind of do the same thing. Sloppy botanicals. Because who doesn't love sloppy botanicals? Probably a lot of people, but I love them. Okay, let's see. I think because it hides my mistakes, I don't even care. Like, it just kind of get into a Zen moment and don't really care about fuss about too many things. And then I'm like, oh, I like it. Okay, there we go. Ooh, pop that right out. Ow, and then I bumped my head. Okay, so then we could put this here. And then if I held that down, if I glued that there, then it has a little botanical on the inside. Ha! I like it. I forgot to put the cap on the glue again. I'm either trying to glue with the cap on or leaving the cap off. So I'm going to put it on right now so I don't forget. Okay. So I am going to pull this like right here, and then it would open up across. Why did I get it on there crooked? It's a good thing it's glue, not something permanent, because that would kind of stink. I cannot do anything straight. It always has to have a little crooked to it. Okay. There we go. And then what if we have like a little, I don't know, this is from a package from forever ago that's still sitting there because I haven't found a place to put it. So what if we put it here? And then I had a little, let's see, maybe I have a stapler right here. Yeah, look at that, guys. I have a stapler. All right, we'll staple this, and then we will regroup and decide what to do next. Okay. If you're thinking, she is a hot Mama Jamma mess, I am. I'm so sorry. There we go. See? Maybe it needs to be like right there too. And then we go like this. Woohoo! Maybe, I don't know. I don't love that. I'm going to ignore it for right now. Maybe a wax seal. Oh, what about a wax seal? I don't have that color though. But maybe I could find a cool little wax. Maybe just put a little wax there to cover it up. That's the magic of wax. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so now I have some of these wax beads. It's the spa wax beads from Wow. And I'm thinking just dumping some on that would be fun. Oh, I'm not gonna do anything else. I promise. I'm just gonna leave it like that and let it dry, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, so now I have my Xyron, which needs I might get a sticker thingy for that. And then I have a container with found words in it and quotes and all kinds. It's just my little word container. And then I think I have some words here, but let me get a thing for that. Okay, so we're gonna replace the tape that's in this. Everybody always asks me how you do that, and that's exactly how you do it. That easy. Just slide it right in. Okay, so I found some found words that don't make sense, but I like it. It says, a female nurse was soon indicated a gravity in the camp. I don't know. Like, I just throw them together and I just like them that they don't make sense. I don't know. Sometimes they make sense. Sometimes they don't. And my favorite's when they don't make sense. It's like an airplane movie or something. Like, you know, the old airplane movies where nothing made sense? Kind of like that. There we go. All right, so then now that I have them, I just kind of run them through the tape runner. And now I think we're just going to lay them out here. Let's see here. See, if I don't have it, if I don't press really good on this, then they come up with the clear stuff. So I kind of have to work them a little bit. And the bad thing about that is that sometimes the words come up with that. So really rub, especially with vintage paper. It's not the greatest to use the sticker thingy, but I do it every time. There you go. Just go the other direction and it will work. So I'm going to lay down the found words, trying to remember what order I had them in. Female nurse. Was soon indicated gravity in the camp. Okay, we'll just kind of do that. Which has nothing to indicated. I'm going to have to put glue over the top of that because it's coming up. we go. Now, see where that's doing that? All I'll do is take this and kind of run a little bit of glue on it and then lay it down and it'll be fine. Now that one, I have the repositional Xyron, so where this one's not exactly laying right, I could lift this up if I wanted to, but I don't know. I'm just going to leave it. Because I live in Alaska, I get what I get. So whatever I can order, I get. All right, so there's the layout. Wait, you know what? Maybe we should do little scribbles or something around our, just kind of to have something going on here. Usually I have a pencil that I do that kind of stuff with, but I have the Posca here, so I did that. So there we go. And there's our tip out. And I still have stuff left. So like we still have this guy. We still have these scraps. I think we even have some leftover people that we could do something with and that. So I still have stuff to work with. There you go.